Crisis Report. Comey. Is he going to get arrested? Bush. Not the same. Yeah, there's an interesting thing going on tonight. There was a post by Comey on his Instagram. He basically said he had there was sand, so I guess he's on vacation, and he's got rocks. He spelled out in one color rocks 8-6, and another color of rocks 4-7. So I'm a former restaurant guy. When something is 86, means it's gone. Also a euphemism for unaliving people, stuff like that. So by saying 8647, he was sending a message to, we don't have number 47. Now, of course, I'm sure they'll say, well, it would just mean get rid of him, all that. But, if you really look at the euphemism, it is, we're out of it. So, that's been 86. Now, the story I heard in the restaurant business was that there was a place that had 80 some items, like 86 items. And if it, when something got out, it got 86. Like it went down to 85. I don't know if that's true or not, but heard that story a long time ago. But anyway, the point is that Tulsi Gabbard on TV said that Mr. Comey needs to be arrested. And I guess we'll see. So, yeah, she was on Fox, and she was talking to Jesse Waters and said, I think he needs to be arrested. So I know people are waiting for arrests and stuff like that. And, I don't put any faith into all that. I just think it's all kind of a grand show. And, they all got the goods on each other. So if they go in and do something like that, then all kinds of crazy stuff's going to happen. And apple cart to be pushed over. But she went on to Fox and said this guy needs to be arrested. So I don't know. Other people said it too. Donald Jr. is the one that kind of had the post saying that, we need to get rid of him. What's this purple thing now? What's going on with that? Well, we got a purple thing. What has YouTube done now? Every time you turn, they got something new. Hey, you're going to make the same money as you always have, but we're going to cut your views in half. Okay? Even though everything is totally the same. What do we got now? What is this? What is this purple thing that they've got? I don't, this platform. They just would have left things alone instead of trying to always change it and weird it up and stuff. Anyway, whatever. Keep putting purple in there. Whatever you're doing, it's great. So, show support for the channel. Oh, okay, great. Well, thank you for supporting the channel. Even though we're, up over 10,000, slowly moving to 11,000 subscribers, I get according to their numbers, I get the numbers that what I had when I had 1,000 viewers. Even when I had 4,000 viewers, I was getting 2,000 views, and now that I'm at 10,000, I only get 600 or 800. So this whole thing is whatever. I don't even care anymore. It's like it's so friggin' fake that it's like now they're gonna put little purple things on there. Great. Thank you for coming here and supporting me. You're awesome. And yeah. Let's get started on the crisis report. Comey is he gonna be arrested? I don't know. Maybe not. Probably not. I guess we'll just have to see. So let's get into it. Berry seltzer. Here we go. This crisis report, May 15, 2025. There's only 50 people here, so. Oh, man. All right, here we go. Trump says getting close to Iran nuclear deal. Trump says Gulf tour could raise up to $4 trillion. Trump says can still go to Turkey if Russia-Ukraine progress. Chinese weapons pass combat tests in India-Pakistan clash with flying colors, French state-owned media France 24 reports. China says ready to expand practical cooperation with the Russian army. Francis Sarkozy has been granted conditional release, electronic tag removed, according to the prosecutor. Russia calls Zelensky's clown and loser ahead of Turkey talks. Trump says priority to end conflicts, not to start them. Zelensky says he will think about what to do on Russia. Talks after Erdogan meeting. Trump lights up Al Udeid Air Force Base with surprise dance for U.S. troops. I think he's doing it to the YMCA, if I remember correctly. Trump says nothing's going to happen on Ukraine until he meets with Putin. Vance and Rubio are going to attend the inaugural Mass of First American Pope, Pope Leo. Leo. Whoa, whoa. Russia ready to discuss possible compromises in Ukraine talks. Earth could be hit by a 600,000-mile-wide birdwing solar eruption tomorrow. Astronomers warn. I look forward to all the prepper channels talking about that. Breaking, FBI says malicious actors are using text messages and AI-generated voice messages to impersonate senior U.S. officials to target other state and federal government officials. Whoa. Kashmir is an external problem that involves 3 countries, Pakistan, India, and China. That is according to Pakistani military spokesperson in Sky News. Chinese EV giant BYD is going to open European center in Hungary, according to Budapest. UAE president says UAE is going to invest $1.4 trillion in the United States over the next 10 years. U.S. producer inflation unexpectedly fell in April. Earth could face an extreme geomagnetic storm tomorrow. Massive 600,000-mile wide solar eruption. Scientists have warned. Governor Ron DeSantis signed a bill making Florida the second state to ban fluoride from its water systems, according to Associated Press. President Trump, he's viewing the UAE-U.S. AI cluster presentation. They had this big supercomputer, like the friggin' Whopper from the movie War Games. One of the best moments in cinematic history is when the general comes out. You know, he's got dark hair and a real thick southern accent. He goes, after long hours of observation, I've come to the conclusion that this machine sucks. Oh, man. Dubai's Burj Khalifa has been illuminated in the American flag to mark the visit of United States President Trump to the UAE. Denver air traffic controllers have temporarily lost radio communications with aircraft, according to Fox News. HHS, led by RFK Jr., is going to stop recommending routine Rona shots for the children and pregnant women, but they were so effective. They were effective. Lawmakers are investigating whether Pfizer waited to share results of the Rona Gibbity in 2020 until after that year's presidential election, based on new allegations that a former Pfizer scientist has said he was part of an effort to deliberately slow down the testing, according to a new letter from the House Judiciary Committee. It's almost like we had just a government that whole commitment was to just being friggin' evil, all kinds of levels. Chinese money launderers allegedly funneled $50 million for a drug cartel, dropping off bags of cash at ATMs and bank teller windows throughout Los Angeles County. Wonderful. Breaking. Sean Diddy Combs, no one cares. More than 1,000 Starbucks baristas across 75 United States locations have been on strike since Sunday, protesting a new dress code requiring solid black shirts and khaki black or blue denim pants under their green aprons. I was in the restaurant business. We had a dress code because that's what you were supposed to wear, and you did what you did to get your your paycheck and your job. All right, so question for the class. How many unpaid student loan, tens of thousands of dollars, do you think those thousands of Starbucks baristas have? I'm going to put $27 million right now in there that we'll more than likely have to pay as a public. But how much do you think unpaid student loan debt for the 1,000 Starbuckers across 75 U.S. locations that are aggravated that they just can't wear whatever the heck they want when people are going and spending their hard-earned money on a $9 latte? Don't do that. 3 wildfires still burning. Oh, come on, give me some numbers. Oh, there we go. We got 35 million. Give me some numbers, folks. How much? How much these boneheads decided to get an Eastern African underwater basket weaving degree or something like that? At least half the total amount of debt. I'd go, that's close. Ukrainian man has been charged with arson following a fire at a London property owned by the United Kingdom. Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez officially called Israel a G-side state. We do not trade with a G-side state. In response, Israel has summoned the Spanish ambassador Macron, and the Italian Prime Minister Meloni also accused Netanyahu of these crimes he did in Gaza. Man, Israel's got a lot of pressure coming on right now. A lot of pressure. Trump once again praised the former ISIS commander who took over Syria and is now president. And I met the new leader of the country, and he's got, a strong past. It'll be very nice. He got a strong past, but I like him a lot. I guess a strong past means that you, yeah. Trump says he doesn't want Apple building products in India, and discussed with Tim Cook. South African president called African whites who sought refuge in the United States cowards. Wonderful. How about you stop them being, attacked and killed? 2 a week are unalived. Multiple are hurt. Just saying. After Saudi Arabia and Qatar, the United States and United Arab Emirates signed a $1.4 trillion economic cooperation agreement. Putin is going to seize more territory, advancing all the way to the outskirts of Kiev. Russia is accumulating forces for a new offensive. That's according to CNN. United States supplements proposal for settlement in Ukraine with the idea to resume work of the Russia-NATO Council, according to Bloomberg. Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan. Russia and Ukraine have agreed in principle to the idea of a ceasefire. Minister noted that both sides have different ideas for a ceasefire. Ukrainian side wants an unconditional ceasefire, while the Russian side has its own conditions. The parties should come together to discuss this and agree on the issues they disagree on. Putin will try to take any land he can, even to the outskirts of Kiev, United States officials on Russia's upcoming summer offensive has stated. Ukraine becomes a smaller every time Kiev disrupts negotiations, according to Russian foreign minister. Maybe that's a little hint that they're going to go in and try to take Kiev. I don't know. Here's the big one. Here's what you all been waiting for. This is the one that's going to get me back to the numbers I had in 2021. Tulsi Gabbard just called for James Comey to be arrested, saying he issued a hit on President Trump. He absolutely knew what 86 meant. James Comey should be held accountable and put behind bars for this. That's according to Tulsi Gabbard. Man, can you imagine if someone actually went to jail? Seriously. I mean, it was refreshing to see that the way that Mr. Comey communicated this message, if you want to call it that, was on a sandy beach. So it looks like the guy is enjoying himself. And that's what matters the most, right? We got to make sure that old James is doing well, taken care of on the public teat. Rest easy, James, rest easy. Former FBI Director James Comey calls for Donald Trump to be murdered in a cryptic post on Instagram, said one way to put it. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard is calling for the immediate arrest of former FBI Director James Comey. Azerbaijan attempted to arrange a secret meeting in Baku between Israel Prime Minister Netanyahu and Turkish President Erdogan. However, the summit was ultimately canceled after Ankara blocked the Israeli Prime Minister's aircraft from flying through Turkish airspace earlier this month. Behind the move is Azerbaijan's aim to join the Abraham Accords and get closer to the United States. Get a little closer. Marine Le Pen publicly endorses Romanian frontrunner George Simeon after first round victory. Le Pen expressed its full and complete support for Simeon following his lead in the presidential first round with over 40% of the vote. Following the visit to Qatar, President of the United States Donald Trump departed from the Arab Kingdom after a very successful visit. Then the United States President went to the United Arab Emirates as he continues his historic Middle East trip. After leaving Qatari airspace, United States Air Force One was escorted by Emirati Royal Air Force F-16 warplanes. A day earlier, Iranian UAVs were spotted flying on UAE coast as tensions between the Iranian regime and the United States continues. Donald Trump, Middle East tour. What was achieved? Well, in Qatar, United States and Qatar signed a deal worth $1.2 trillion. Qatar will invest $10 billion in U.S. military facility and purchase $42 billion in weapons. Qatar Airways will buy 210 Boeing jets worth $96 billion and a $3 billion deal for Qatar to acquire drone defense technology. Saudi Arabia agreed to $600 billion in investments. Another 145 deals were made worth $300 billion with investors. A $142 billion agreement for the Saudis to buy military equipment from the United States. Donald Trump lifts all sanctions on Syria. Trump has asked American companies to invest in Syria's oil and gas sector. United Arab Emirates invested $1.4 trillion in the United States for the next 10 years, another $200 billion in deals with the UAE. Pakistan strikes a deal with Trump, family-backed crypto venture World Liberty Financial, Indian media has reported. Don't you miss, like, the old regime? Don't you miss it? Days and days of just glorious coverage on the news. Nothing actually done. Just nice coverage. Oh, look, Joe is talking to the press. What a wonderful job he did. Oh, look, he's riding a bike. Oh, he's falling over. Oh, look, Trump, 42 billion here, 162 trillion there, 58 billion here. Hey, forget about it. I got billions and trillions and trillions and billions coming out of every frickin' you-know-what and the you-know-what. Come on down to Trump's White House. We're dealing today, baby. You got a plane? Trade it in. Trump's White House will take it. We'll give you top dollar. Oh, man. Just deal after deal. United Kingdom may set up return hubs in other nations for illegal migrants awaiting deportation. That's nice. Far left extremists attacked branches of the United States companies Microsoft and Amazon in Berlin, Germany. Okay. Details of Turkey-Syria-United States trilateral meeting. The meeting lasted about 2 hours and was described as sincere and constructive. Senator Rubio was accompanied by Senator Lindsey Graham. President Erdogan participated online, and topics discussed in the Trump al-Shara meeting in Riyadh were reviewed. Turkey's position. Foreign Minister Fidan opened the meeting stating the Syrian people want to live in security, stability, and prosperity. We must ensure that developments in Syria continue in the right direction. He emphasized the importance of maintaining United States-Syrian engagement and avoiding actions that would weaken Syria's capacity to combat ISIS. Syria is making serious efforts to eliminate weapons of mass destruction. Turkey will continue to do its part in this effort. And the United States' position is that the U.S. emphasized Syria's importance for regional security. We want to help Syria stand on its own 2 feet and are committed to overwhelming the obstacles to this. U.S. stressed the need for mutual trust and highlighted the importance of Syria's commitment to fighting terrorism. We want all Syrians to live peacefully and happily in their homeland. Syria's position is that they've called for international reintegration, and a chance to achieve stability and prosperity. For the first time, 45 years, the Syrian people are governing themselves. Syrian side emphasized the importance of lifting sanctions and improving humanitarian conditions. And that is from the Turkish Ministry of Foreign Affairs sources. Germany has signaled that it will raise defense spending in line with the Trump request for NATO members to reach the 5% goal of GDP. Talks on Ukraine to begin in Istanbul tomorrow. According to Turkish sources, the Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan, U.S., Ukrainian, and Russian delegations will be in Istanbul tomorrow. United States, Ukrainian, and Russian delegations to convene in Istanbul. Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan expected to play a key role in mediation. Talks on the Ukraine to begin in Istanbul tomorrow, according to Turkish sources. Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan, United States, Ukrainian, and Russian delegations will be in Istanbul tomorrow. United States, Ukrainian, and Russian delegations to convene in Istanbul. Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan expected to play a key role in mediation. Pope Leo XIV praised Christians in the Middle East who stay in their lands rather than leaving them. I thank God for these Christians, Eastern and Latin alike, who above all in the Middle East persevere, and remain in their homelands, resisting the temptations to abandon them. Christians must be given the opportunity, and not just in words, to remain in their native lands with all the rights needed for a secure existence. Please let us strive for this, end quote. United Health under criminal probe, possible Medicare fraud, according to a report. United Health Group shares fell 6% pre-market trading on Thursday. Wall Street Journal reported that the U.S. Department of Justice has investigated the company for potential medical fraud or Medicare fraud. Latest news adds to the health insurer's litany of woes, including multiple government inquiries to its business, sudden change in top leadership, and a pulled outlook in the face of soaring medical costs. Well, they're the group that Luigi came out of the shadows and became a heartthrob of the left. Hey, baby, I'm so political, I'll actually use weapons. Idiot. Oh, but he's so cute. He's so cute. Yeah, I'm psycho too. China's manufacturing dominance has very little to do with being cheap. China's labor costs are rapidly approaching developed economy prices. Things are made in China because they've spent 50 years of developing infrastructure, technical expertise, deep supply chains, extensive access to credit, and a conducive environment to doing business for foreigners at least up until 2019. If this is all about cheap products, Tesla's Gigafactory would be in Mumbai and not Shanghai. Steve Witkoff, interview with The Atlantic, says any long-term solution to Gaza must include the complete disarmament of Hamas. Trump says we're going to give Yemen a chance and we're going to give Syria a chance. And Amir Sarfati asks a question to what? Continue to fire ballistic missiles and drones at Israel to continue the slaughter of their own minorities? Good questions. Trump says once again that he wants the U.S. to take Gaza and make it a freedom zone. This is why Gideon's Chariots operation has to start, and very soon, according to Amir. Karim Khan, Chief Prosecutor, International Criminal Court, Hague, has effectively ceased work following Trump's sanctions over the arrest warrant against Prime Minister Netanyahu. Khan's access to his email bank accounts has been blocked. American employees on his team have been warned that action will be taken against them if they return to the U.S., and any organizations have stopped working with the court. So, yeah. Since the attempted takeout of Mohammed Sinwar 2 days ago, there's been a noticeable increase in the intensity in this fire, landing along every front in Gaza. Most reports and documentation are of incessant attacks in the Khan Yunis area. Many documents are also emerging from attacks in the northern Gaza Strip. One can only assume that there is a crushing of terrorist complexes and infrastructures along the front in preparation for the significant activity that is getting closer. Iran's Revolutionary Guard, or IRGC, chief U.S. Said the United States President Donald Trump is an enemy of the Iranian people, accusing him of blocking access to medicine and ordering the killing of IRGC General Qasem Soleimani, 2020. Not real happy about that. Still, the butt is still hurt. Following the sirens that sounded a short while ago in several areas in Israel, a missile that was launched from Yemen was intercepted. Sirens were sounded in accordance with protocol. At least 20 people were injured in a mass stampede in Barcelona outside the football match between Barcelona and Espanyol. Scientists at CERN have confirmed the successful transfer of lead into gold using the LHC, or Large Hadron Collider. It's the world's most advanced particle accelerator. So, friends, if you got gold, it's about to become worthless, go sell it to China. We'll buy all of it right now for top dollar. Iranian Revolutionary Guard Commander Hossein Salami is threatening to fire 600 missiles at Israel, U.S. forces in an event of a conflict. Netanyahu warns, we will not tolerate this. IAEA should take charge of Pakistan's nuclear weapons. That is according to Indian Defense Minister. And the India-Pakistan ceasefire has been extended. This is good news. To the 18th of May, Pakistani foreign minister said, Ishaq Dar says, military-to-military talks have been held, political dialogue still to occur. That's your crisis report, friends. You did it. You made it. Looks like we made it. Yep, you made it. Now what? Well, go tell people what we're doing here. Lord knows you won't get a notification for it. I got mine 12 hours after today. So you telling people is the best way to help the channel. Help the channel, okay? It's not a money thing. I don't care about money. I make the same money. I've always made the same money. Doesn't matter. 3,000 views, 500 views. Same amount. Whatever. Not about money. And trust me, it's not as good as you think. So, this is a labor of love. Come here, we'll tell you everything. I'm not going to change this. I'm not going to get hyperbolic. I'm not going to do crazy stuff. I'm not going to go, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. The world is falling. The world is falling. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to get all this. I'm going to come in a nice, calm, clear way and just tell you what's going on. That's it. I might have some voices, have some fun. I might get frustrated. I might piss and moan a little bit. But it's going to basically be the same thing. Okay? So, friends, check out the links in the description, of course. Join us online all over, from Subscribestar to Locals to X to Twitter to Minds to Gab to True Social. Join us, and we will rule the galaxy. All right? All right, friends. God bless. We'll see you on the next one. Have a good night.